Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Wednesday the 26th of February. Pushback over a proposal to change citizen arrest laws. The government's announcing more moves today for tackling retail crime. Currently, citizen arrests are only allowed between 9pm and 6am for certain crimes. Labour police spokesperson Ginny Anderson told Mike Hosking loosening that up would put members of the public at risk.
Because you ask any police officer whether it's a good idea for people to take law into their own hands, and they will always say that it ends in disaster.
The UK's announced moves to transform its military forces with a major increase to its defence budget. Our government's also been signalling a very significant lift in spending, bringing it closer to 2% of GDP. The UK says its budget will rise from 2.3% of GDP to 2.5% over the next few years. Defence analyst Michael Clark told Sky News this extra money will be used differently than it would have been a decade ago.
Information computing, getting this kill cycle, as they call it, up and running so that a smaller number of people can actually be very lethal with modern weapons.
Fresh information on a nearly 3 decades old West Coast cold case death. David Robinson's body was found in 1998 on a remote beach with a gunshot wound to his head. It's believed the 25-year-old had been killed about 10 days earlier. Blake Benny reports.
Detective Inspector Jeff Baber says new lines of inquiry have come to light after they canvassed the small township of Katuputahi this month, interviewing locals. He says investigators based at the Hokitika police station are following the new leads. He says they're interviewing new people throughout the South Island.
An Australian nurse has been arrested accused of making anti-Israeli comments in a social media video. The 26-year-old was stood down after the online interview in which she allegedly bragged about refusing to treat Israeli patients and killing them. It was during a video call with an Israeli influencer, done while she was at work and wearing scrubs. Australian correspondent Steve Price says she faces serious charges.
Threatening violence using a carriage service, which just means that she was using that chat with the Israeli influencer to make threats against people.
Media company NZME is reporting a full-year net loss of $16 million. The Newstalk ZB and Herald owner says operating revenue was up 2%, but earnings are down 3.6%. Here's business reporter Michael Sergel.
It's been a tough year for the media industry, with the closure of Newshub and major cutbacks at TVNZ. But NZME boss Michael Boggs says the company is performing well, with real estate website OneRoof seeing a 51% increase in digital revenue. The company's in the process of cutting about 30 newsroom roles.
Better news from Port of Auckland, which is reporting a doubling in half-year profit, with car and structure steel imports down, but a lift in bulk cargo. To sport, Highlanders prop Daniel Leonard-Brown has received a 3-match ban after his red card for thundering into a ruck during their Super Rugby win over the Blues. The punishment can be reduced to 2 games if he attends tackle school. Ireland have beaten the Black Sticks women 1-0 at hockey's Nations Cup in Chile. Elise Andrews has bagged a second gold at the National Track Cycling Championships, this time in the Kirin. And a 2-time champion Braden Currie has withdrawn from Ironman New Zealand on Saturday due to an injury niggle. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5pm from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.